Welcome to Podnutz episode number 32. We're joined this week by Bruce Harrison, who is the lead researcher / vice president of MalwareBytes. MalwareBytes is a malware remover that we're probably all pretty familiar with. And if you're not, listen to the interview and you'll know what it is and you'll probably want to download it by the end. Here's the interview with Bruce. I'm here with Bruce Harrison, who is the lead researcher at MalwareBytes, which is the software we all know and love for removing malware, spyware, and that kind of stuff. Hey, Bruce, how you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Well, I'm glad you could join us. Bruce, what do you do at MalwareBytes? You're lead researcher. What does that mean?
The primary responsibilities are updating the database. There's numerous activities that take place prior to that happening. Usually it comes from multiple different sources. From my other researchers give me definitions they've created. I create my own definitions based on the malicious samples I'm currently researching, and we also go out into the field and look for what else is being reported and do some research on that. Current events are sometimes a good place to get malicious software. Like right now we have the Final Four, the NCAA tournament going on, and there's always hacked websites based on current events. So I know that if I go out there looking for any kind of college basketball stuff now, I've got a decent chance of finding some malicious software. So it all kind of depends. We play it by ear. The research varies greatly week to week and month to month. Some of my other responsibilities are looking for new talent for the company, and also researching the forums to see if anyone's complaining about any issues, see if there's anything that we need to resolve or improve.
That's good. It seems like you got a lot of avenues of input. You know what I mean? I guess that's the way to stay on top of the game. You know, get information from all quarters that you possibly can.
Yeah, and also to respect all of them too. It seems that sometimes there's people out there willing to do some work for you because they want to help the community, and some companies seem to ignore these guys, and we try to avoid that at all costs. We try to, anyone from a big-time, well-known researcher to a guy that just got a malicious sample, we try to listen to them and see what they've got going on and see if they can help improve our software.
Huh. It's pretty smart. Why don't you just tell everybody, just in case nobody knows, exactly what MalwareBytes is?
It's an anti-malware scanner in the free version. The pro version offers active protection based on what we can remove. The research that goes into it is not really geared towards specific malware families the way some products are. Instead, we target what we see the antivirus companies having the most trouble with. We have a priority system for what goes into the definitions. The stuff that we see the antivirus companies missing the most often or having the most trouble removing from people's systems goes right to the top of our list. MalwareBytes is specifically designed to be a complementary tool to any antivirus software. There is no real particular antivirus company that we recommend over all others. We do have a couple of favorites, but as long as you have a good antivirus installed, our software will complement it perfectly and fill in all the gaps.
Okay, that's what you're basically going for. Is that why the stuff that the antivirus companies are having the most trouble with? Is that why that goes to the top of the list? So you could basically make a complete package.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense for us to detect thousands and thousands of samples that everyone already detects. One of the other things that really sets our product apart is how fast it is, and the quick scanner is much, much faster than our competitors, and that's mostly because we have some targeted optimizations, but also we don't need a gigantic bloated database that detects stuff that no one has seen in the world for 5 or 6 years. It's utterly pointless to have that stuff in the database. It's just some companies use that for bragging rights or claiming how gigantic their database is. But if your database is only 1% active, that number doesn't make any sense.
Oh yeah, I mean it does become a hindrance too when you have to download all that stuff.
Yeah, who wants to download a 45 gigabyte or 45 megabyte file when you're have a heavily compromised machine that could take hours?
Exactly. Well, since you brought it up, what antivirus programs do you guys recommend?
The ones that I'll just speak for the community as a whole. I see the security experts that I respect and trust have been known for years. It seems Avira antivirus, Node 32, and Kaspersky seem to be the three that I see most commonly used.
Oh, that's good. I mean, because Avira is free, right?
Yep, Avira does have a free version. It's got that annoying nag screen, but if you can live with it, you go ahead and live with it.
Huh. I own a computer repair business, so I've gone through a couple different antivirus programs, experimenting with them. You know, not the whole gamut, but you know, I've started out with like Avast, and then we went to AVG, and now people are complaining AVG8's kind of bloated. I have not used Avira really too much, so that's, you know, just from you telling me that might be something I want to look at. Basically, what we're using now in my shop is Norton 2009, and I used to hate Norton. I mean, hate it with a passion because it was such bloated software. It would slow the machines down. It would crash machines. But this 2009 version, I'm pretty happy with. I mean, I don't know what your guys' views are on that. Have you heard much about the new Norton?
I actually have a little bit of a different take on Norton. It's not anything they can control, and it's not their fault. There's an old saying in the security industry called security through obscurity. And that means the less common your software is, the less likely the bad guys are going to be engineering against it. The fact that Norton and McAfee come installed on the vast majority of systems means that if they want a worm to get into your system, they're going to make damn sure it gets by McAfee and Norton from on day zero. That's what the goal is. From there, you know, they might have a gigantic staff that works, you know, around the clock to get the definitions out much more rapidly, but they are definitely a target right off the bat for a zero-day bypass.
Wow.
So that's why I tend to stick with some of the lesser-known tools that just happen to also have outstanding staffs. I also did IT for 7 years prior to doing what I'm doing right now. I did home user and small business IT. So I'm actually kind of did exactly what you're doing right now.
Oh, cool.
It's where I got my start. Yeah, I loved it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge because you never know what you're going to hit from one day to the next.
That was my favorite part. Every single day was a completely different day.
Right. Well, on MalwareBytes, like you said, you got the quick scan and you got the full scan. Why would somebody want to do a quick scan instead of just running the full scan every time?
Okay, the quick scan does everything that the full scan does, except it doesn't look in folders where we haven't seen malicious software in the last year. So the only thing it technically could miss is a few stray traces that really don't have any, you know, executable abilities whatsoever. The only time I ever recommend running a full scan is if you ever had a quick scan find something and after you've done removal and rebooted, just to see if there's any traces lingering. Any executable file that has the ability to enter memory cannot be missed by the quick scan. Just the way the technology itself works, anything that actually can enter memory will get caught by this quick scan every single time.
Oh, I didn't know that's how you did it. That's very interesting. So it just checks folders that MalwareBytes hasn't found any viruses or spyware in the last year.
Yeah, basically what the quick scan targets towards folders, we call them hotspots where we've seen malicious software. The full scan doesn't do that. It just scans all folders.